to war, forevermore at peace.
I was going and I was playing the Peaceful Planet mix a little bit, and we'll play it again. So James is the son of Bob Murray, both gifted mediums, and they both channel George Harrison and John Lennon, and I do too. And I was telling them a story about years ago in 2004, I think, when I was working intensely with Diana on the peace process in the Middle East, particularly focused on both the Diana's message going to diplomats that we hoped would prevent the Iraq War and also provide a solution for peace. And I was in touch with these two great people, Bob Murray and James, and they started getting messages from John Lennon as well as I did. And I got downloads from John. And it was a beautiful process, and I would hear words and they would be all in perfect rhythmical order. I mean, I'm not a poet. I'm a writer, an author, but I'm not, as gifted as the brilliant late, great John Lennon or as gifted as Bob Murray. So Bob was getting the music with James, and then I was getting the lyrics. So we combined it into a whole project. And I call it the Music for Peace. And I channeled in about 30 of James and Bob's songs. And then it became the book, Notes from John, Messages from Across the Universe. And it's a fabulous book. And I want to introduce James. And James Murray is going to tell us a little bit more about his work and where you can find his work. And I'm going to get the copy of the book.
Okay, yeah. You can find just about everything that my father and I have worked on at the website. Is the starsstillshine.com. And okay, there's a note from John.
That's the old classic book. It's probably 10 years old now. Yes, I published it in 2013. Yes. And so James contributed a lot of the illustration to the website, but now he's also doing mediumship, and he always was with mediumship. But don't you channel in some of the music still from John and George?
Yeah, I guess
you're doing other musicians now.
Yeah, bringing through some of their some of the melodies on my father's old computer. It still seemed to be able to through the help of a music program, I'm able to bring through some more music. So I'm surprised, but it's still doing it.
I would like to share the for those of you that haven't heard my radio show or my programs, it's all available still on bbsradio.com/peacefulplanet, and I have CDs of the music and the great interviews I used to do, particularly with Bob Murray and James Murray. And we used to work and have a great time together. And I'm going to let you sample some of these lyrics here. And the first song ever that I got from John was in a CD that came in the mail. And Bob simply said in an email, "John has something he wants you to hear." And I was like ever so curious. I knew we were up to music, but I didn't know what it was. I got a CD. When I was driving along to get the postal, I heard "With Love from Me to You." And then I received the disc, which was titled "Love from John." It was like, oh my God, chills, So it was a confirmation. And the first song on the CD that I played, I sat down, listened to it, and I journaled. And this is what I got. This is from the Notes from John, Messages from Across the Universe, which is still on Amazon and a reasonably priced item. And this is called The Peaceful Planet. We live in peace and peace as one over all the earth, to be as one, to live as one, wherever we may go. We live in peace forevermore, no more fighting, no more wars, no more attack, no more bloodshed. We celebrate one God. God is but love, we've all been told, each in our different ways. We proclaim love and an end to war, forevermore at peace. The peaceful planet is being born from within us. Begin to see, begin to feel that love is all around us. We proclaim that love is one. We are all one in divine love. We proclaim love forevermore, the peaceful planet. We sing as one, please sing along. We are the peaceful planet, right from within, each in our own way. We proclaim the peaceful planet. If you think I can write that way, think again. That is the brilliant work of John Lennon. I also have quite a collection of George Harrison lyrics, which are so amazing and uplifting and soothing. So George was quite a master when he lived here on the earth plane. And of course, John is the master of music, but he refuses to be referred to as any kind of master. He said, no, love. They'd be putting me on a bloody altar and worshiping me. No, I don't want that. The humor still shines through. I haven't talked to John in a long time, but today we're going to be speaking to Mother Mary and Princess Diana. And today, unfortunately, I feel personally kind of a responsibility because the peace process that began in 2002 with Diana's messages going directly to some of the important diplomats that she pointed out that she wanted me to reach in life, which did go through and influenced the diplomacy of George H.W. Bush, and through Colin Powell, I had a contact, and he and I had correspondence, but it was encrypted. He really didn't know who I was, and they had no way to find me. But Diana asked me to do this because she said, this one issue, if it's not solved, will erupt in more future terror all over the world. And you see how it wasn't done. But even he, it takes a woman, I guess, to give the man advice on what they need to do, especially presidents and bullheaded people, GW among them included. But he got the advice from Colin Powell, who was known to be a brilliant, statesman and so forth. But I can say that I did my part for peace, just like we all have to do. And so the first book that I wrote with Diana came out very early. I was an early light worker, and this is the Princess Diana's Message of Peace. And that is still up for sale on Amazon, and you can get a hold of it through me. I ordered new copies. Signed editions are reselling for a lot of money. I'm not into it for the money, but I'd be glad to initial or, sign a copy. Those are all the original messages that went on. And then I realized someplace I was very naive and young, and I realized that the government, had a lot of secret things going on that I wasn't aware of. And I thought, I better not do this anymore. They might find out who I am, might think that I know too much, whatever. So I bowed out of it after Colin Powell left office, but that is true. And he's in spirit now, so he's not here to say yes or no, but I think he's smiling down on the process that he started. But the problem is that they never came together enough to create a peaceful solution for both sides to live in peace with Israel and Palestine. And of course, now it's an outright tragedy and horrible situation for all the people. So we begin and end with love and sending out love and peace today. And however you send your healing, we'll begin by meditating for peace. And so just take a deep breath and let all the archangels surround you, particularly Archangel Raphael, who I feel strongly is present and guarding the innocent people in Israel, in Palestine. And they are really all one faith. They come from the Abrahamic tradition, but yet it's such a sad state of affairs with religion dividing people. So I feel Archangel Michael and his sword of truth cutting through the illusions of tribalism and the illusions of military industrial complex situations that are fueling this behind the scenes and cutting through all barriers. And we ask that there be divine love sent from each heart of ours to the area today, now, and that those who are kidnapped will be freed soon, and those who are suffering and being herded into a small area of land, namely Palestine, and herded to an unavailable border, that some diplomatic solution be sent to them through diplomatic relations with Egypt, or however it works out, Anthony Blinken, whoever can and do it at this point. We just ask for direct inspiration for the diplomats involved, and that this war not be fueled. That's the main concern of Mother Mary right now, and Diana. And so we had the solution years ago, but when there's warfare and religious conflict, it tends to hold on. So we just ask that you send out your love. And then we're going to do a Merkaba meditation at the end, which is the divine light body. And we get it going, and then we send it on to these various countries for miracles to happen for all the people there. So we ask for all the prisoners to be released, the hostages. We ask for divine love for all the injured on either side, that the hospitals allowed to remain open. We ask for a divine solution for the Palestinian refugees as they try to flee their homes and the danger. And we ask for Israel to restrain and use restraint and use another method if possible before it erupts into more war. For there are many Arab countries right now, I'm sensing, that want and feel the need to attack Israel, and we don't need that. So I'm going to open with Princess Diana's message for today, and then move on to Mother Mary's message. And we are recording this, and after we record the message, I will stop the recording and post that to my YouTube station, and then we will have time for personal needs, prayer, Reiki, and whatever else. Even if you want to discuss the situation and add your insights, you're welcome to. We don't take sides here. We just pray for a peaceful solution. And so I'm calling in Princess Diana and Mother Mary, and they're titling this a call for peace, prayers, and action. Calling in the divine presence of a divine mother, Mother Mary being one divine aspect, Mary Magdalene, one divine aspect, Princess Diana. Particularly, I hear, Diana, I've heard your call for a prayer for peace and a plan for peace. And then Diana comes through and she says, "It is with great sadness that I see suffering all over the Middle East, as if a dark cloud is hanging over all the people there. The hate, the fear, and the abuse of innocent people is going on everywhere right now. We stand with the innocent victims, be they Israelis or Palestinians. I want everyone, and you personally, to know that I have long provided a solution to the rampant terrorism in the area with the two-state solution. And this one idea and ideal was sent to many presidents through Marcia's humble intervention into world affairs. I never say politics because this is not a political matter. I am with Mother Teresa here on this side at what they call the Diaper Ranch, taking care of children lost to terrorism in Israel and Palestine. And it is a day of mourning, and it's still continuing at this hour with massive bombing campaigns and the wicked kidnapping of innocent children, mothers, and grandmothers. I confirm that Iran is totally behind this act of terrorism and was involved in its planning in the radical arm of Hamas. It is a sad state of affairs that Israel has gone on so long without making peace a priority for the Palestinian state. And Netanyahu is only getting more militaristic and militant pro-Zionist leader. And no one in the Arab world was willing up to this point to negotiate with him. Although, in parentheses, these are not Diana's words, but mine, they were to have a meeting with the Saudis and sign a peace deal. And this is why they think this attack had happened at this time, because there are radicalized elements in the Hamas group, and of course, coming straight out of Iran, that never want to recognize Israel right to, its own identity. So, Diana, back to Diana. I am not taking sides. I have supported democracy and free speech in Israel all along. And I support the right of the Palestinians to have their lands returned to them and for peace and prosperity with a secure border for Israel and Palestine. And I get goosebumps every time I say this, because this is what we want. We want to see the state of Palestine living side by side with the state of Israel in peace and harmony and abundance, and enough jobs and enough for everyone, of water, electric. That's all been turned off, of course, Right now, we ask all peace workers and light workers simply to pray for peace. And here's a suggestion for what time to pray. When you arise in the morning and you take your quiet time, if you have it available in the morning, and we also suggest that you take a time in the evening, twice a day, so that you can send the powerful Archangel Metatron meditation using the technique that Marcia will teach you today and has shared with her groups for a peaceful solution and an immediate ceasefire. This will be discussed privately in her groups. We all know here that the divine creator does not will harm or violence on anyone, and this outrageous attack will only lead to more war. We ask again for Marcia's work to be shared around with videos and her books, both with Love from Diana, Queen of Hearts, and her earlier book, Princess Diana's Message of Peace, which outlined the two-state solution. So this is the other book back here. I don't know if you can see it. It's pink. So I have with Love from Diana, Queen of Hearts, too, which contains her personal messages to her sons and other messages about ascension and some of John Lennon's early messages and so on. So back to the channel. She says, it is not a new idea, but it was the original idea from myself, Diana, and I am guiding everyone right now as an aspect of the Divine Mother. Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene will step in briefly for their words of peace. Mother Mary says, I ask all of you who are Catholic, who do rosary, to say the rosary and say the sorrowful decades for the people of Israel and the people of Palestine, where they're going through a crucifixion process, just as my son endured. It had been planned from the celestial realms that the two-state solution for Israel and Palestine be confirmed and existing by now. And if that would have happened, there would have been peace for Israel and peace for Palestine and unity amongst the Arab nations. But instead, the radical Islamic hate emanating from Iran and spreading in Gaza due to economic deprivation and lack of opportunity has spoiled the opportunity for younger people to work together for peace. There is one in your group who lives in East Jerusalem and works with an Israeli woman, and they both deserve peace medals. They are divine saints. We need our saints in this group to step up and pray for peace using either, if you're Catholic, rosary, or just holding the rosary and saying the New Age rosary. It matters not to me, but we ask all for prayer in whatever way you wish, for once in the morning and once in the evening. And don't let the children out of your thoughts, she says, for they're suffering and they've done nothing wrong. I am an aspect of the Divine Mother, and I watch over all children crossing over right now. It is senseless and brutal. This horrifying military industrial complex is so built up that will be harder and harder to find ways to master the emotions of the various peoples involved, and for the people themselves to stand up against the buildup of these horrible weapons and the military, which has final say on so many things, both in Israel and the United States. We pray for peace and we hold each soul dear. And we ask you, light workers, and my saints to go out there and spread the word of peace to all. Also remember that my son Jeshua, the great teacher and healer, was a Jew and a persecuted Palestinian in an occupied territory, and you yet provoked no one, but merely taught peace and love. You too can follow his example in mine by putting peace in your heart everywhere, in your home, your community, and the world. If we have enough people praying for peace and working for peace, it will happen eventually. But there are players behind the scenes that benefit from wars, meaning the military-industrial complex and other people involved. And behind the scenes, they are benefiting from these wars. And there is so much hatred coming from Iran. I'm sorry to warn you about Iran, for she is also involved with some Russia and nuclear armament agreements. This is my final warning to all of you who cherish the earth. Please send out peace in all directions and do whatever you can, and ask your representatives and your Congress, wherever you are, to end the military buildup everywhere. The military must be dissembled if you want to live on a new earth and a peaceful earth. We know that this is possible, and it is yet one possible outcome for the new earth. I bless you and I hold you in my loving heart always. This is the Divine Mother, Mary. Mary Magdalene did not come through with a message, but she is present here. So I was a little hesitant to bring through the bit about the rosary for those of you who are non-Catholic and not feeling, at all. And I don't use it myself, but I have some treasured collectible rosaries, and sometimes I just hold them and send prayers to the world through that. And if those of you listening who would like to do it, Siobhan sent me a beautiful Sorrowful Mysteries, and it's well done. And it's calling in the Divine Celestial Mother. So, we're not preaching any religion here at all. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Religion is, she said herself, Mother Mary said, that religion is tearing apart the planet one by each. So we only send out what we can do each day. And so I'm going to continue with personal prayers and Reiki healing, and I'm going to do a reading on the crystal, and we're going to do our Merkaba meditation in private, as I was asked to do that in private. So we will close out, but for those of that you are catching this on YouTube or the recording, I'd like to thank you very much for joining us today on the YouTube. Please remember, if you found this message uplifting or insightful, to subscribe and like. And I am Marcia McMahon, and all of my books are on Amazon. I'll mention them again. Princess Diana's Message of Peace, With Love from Diana, Queen of Hearts. And my latest book is about the life and times of the female disciples, and it's Mary Magdalene Speaks, the Holy Grail, Bloodline, and Secrets of the Divine Feminine. And James has contributed the book, and so has Catherine with her editing. So please check out my books, and feel free to write comments below.
We live in peace and peace as one.